morning.
Hello.
We started on Anthony Creek this morning and came out boat and then the Appalachian Trail. And we're right here at Jenkins Ridge Trail, which is right here behind us. We're going to take that all the way to Hazel Creek. So this is probably one of our last hikes this year as a group. So we're going to maybe talk about and highlight some of our favorite trails and highlights of 2018 today as we hike down Jenkins. All right, y'all ready to get hiking?
We're ready.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
One of the highlight backpack trips or hiking trips of 2018 for me was going to Gregory's Bald on Easter weekend and seeing the sunrise on Easter Sunday morning. That was one of my highlights.
My favorite highlight of 2018 was my first overnight shelter stay, and I hiked from Newfound to Cosby and went down Low Gap and ended there at the Cosby Campground. Beautiful section of the AT, probably my most favorite trail in the entire park. Had a great shelter experience and it was great. The stars were beautiful. It was great.
Leave us a message in the comment section below of what your favorite highlights were of 2018.
So my favorite hike so far this year was when we hiked up to Peck's Corner and we overnighted at campsite 48.
This is the trail that is Jenkins Ridge.
This stuff is slick as shit because it's melting.
Number 2 for 2018 was Hazel Creek. From the top to bottom was one of my most favorite trails in the entire park anyway.
That's a nice ass got there. Number 2 highlight of this year hikes is gonna be Forney Creek, going down the AT and down Welch, and then up Forney Creek back to Clingman's Dome. I thought was absolutely beautiful. I actually did that twice this year because I liked it.
My number 2 favorite trail was we hiked up Beach, hiked in and out on Balsam Mountain, and then stayed at Laurel Gap Shelter overnight, my second shelter sleep. And then we hiked down Gunner Fork and Big Creek. Balsam Mountain is way up there as far as like my favorite trail. It's beautiful.
All right, we're about 8.5 miles in from Cades Cove picnic area here on Jenkins, and my third highlight of 2018 would be lunch on LeConte with the group. It was fun to hike up and go up there and sit in the lodge in a rocking chair and just tell stories and meet and greet people.
Okay, third highlight of this year was my Christmas Eve and Christmas Day sunset and sunrise backpack with my favorite person.
Where'd you go?
Well, oh, I'm sorry. Huckleberry Knob. My fourth favorite hike is going through all the whips. Fell off the mountain.
I need a picture of these. Do you hold these?
Yes.
I'm not going to be near as graceful as you all.
Hey, be careful, because look, toes hurt.
Okay.
So good.
Man, that. I'm trying to step out of the water. I didn't want to stop in the water.
It's okay. I'm weird about staying at hotels.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd rather.
It's great though. I'm trying to zigzag a little bit.
This is the steep part of Jenkins from the AT down. But really, from the bald back there, coming down to the pinnacle area. Number 4 for me is going to Max Patch, hiking over to Lemon Gap and over into Hot Springs, and then back out.
Hey, so number 4 favorite hike is gonna be when I stayed overnight at the Mount LeConte shelter this year with my mom. That was back in April, I think it was, or maybe even May. Anyway, it got down to like 10 degrees and I was super proud that I didn't get froze to death. So it's very pretty.
My number 4 favorite hike for this year would probably be up Rainbow and down Bullhead. We went to the LeConte Lodge, had lunch, and there were some folks from Texas that hike up every day, or sorry, every year at the same weekend, and they come up and they sing gospel music and play the banjo and the guitar, and it was just fun. We had lunch with them, and it was just a good fellowship, fun day.
Yeah.
Number 5 for me is when the National Park Service decided to close the park during Hurricane Florence. And Lisa and I drove over to 20 Mile and went in and hiked all day in there.
So our number 5 is actually the same thing, and we didn't know that until we both announced what our number 5 was. So
Today we hiked from Clemens Dome on the AT all the way across Thunderhead, Rocky Top, down Boat, and down Lead, and finished there. I passed my, we did that over the summer. I passed my 1,000-mile mark that day, and it was just really pretty, and it was neat seeing Rocky Top and Thunderhead from that side, from that direction. Her and I both said we've been to Rocky Top the other way, but it was fun to approach it on the other side of the
it
mountain.
was a really cool trail. I liked the trail.
Yeah, it was really pretty. You gotta go, you gotta go.
Gotta go.
All right, guys, number 6 for me is going to be when I went over to McAfee Knob and hiked out there, and I thought that was real cool. I also won a contest for Eddie Bauer on why I hike. It was a 1-minute video. All right, I'll close it out with this one. I want to say that one of my highlights of 2018 was finishing my 900 miler on Land Camp Trail with these fine folks, plus Jimmy and Callie, and all those fine folks that came out to build that hiker tunnel for me. That was definitely one of my huge highlights of 2018, and I obviously saved that one for the very last. Anyway, we're going to focus on this Jenkins Ridge Trail that we're still on. We've got about 4 more miles of this to get back down toward the pinnacle and then out to Hazel Creek. Don't forget to leave us a comment below and tell us what your highlights were for 2018.
No, the video's not in slow motion. We really are going slow. Got my analog system in gear.
I'm holding on to trees.
All right, so we just came down Jenkins Ridge, which is right up there.
Is that where we are?
And we're down here now on the old Pinnacle Trail, which goes back that way. And right here behind my shoulder is the trail sign that says 2.4 miles back out to Hazel Creek. And so that's the direction we're headed after this break. If I'm not mistaken, on my left side of this trail, which is Jenkins Ridge, is a trail that goes back to Horace Kephardt's cabin. Never been there, so if you know where it is and want to take me, let me know, 'cause I'd love to go. And I also know that there's some copper mines somewhere over there. Don't know where those are either, but those are on my list to go check out. So if you know where they are, leave me a comment below. Larry, Curly, and Mo.
Hi guys. Hello.
So what y'all think of Jenkins Ridge Trail and
I love the
trail in
bottom
general?
part.
Loved it. It had a lot of character.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not. It's steep. Yes. I'm very thankful for no snow on that section or no rain, where the leaves would not be wet. But it was good.
We're back in the creek.
Well, we've got about a half a mile, less than half a mile to be there at the Proctor area at Hazel Creek. What's that tree?
Oh, yeah, that one's in the distance. I got it. Okay.
All right, we're at the end of.
Jenkins Ridge. Woo woo.
It's
All right.
done.
Let's trek on out of here, going to Ollie Cove. See y'all later. All right, right over there's our boat and our ride out of here. Thank you so much, Steve Claxton.
Thank you, Steve.
Woo!
As always, live free, hike often, make every day great.